trying to learn to be vulnerable one-on-one, because I love one-on-one conversations. Like, I'm a wine drinker, I'm a crier. Obviously, I love it. You know those deep life chats when you sit down with someone, usually the night before they become your best friend or your life partner, that night where you drink all the alcohol and talk about everything that's ever happened to you. These chats are amazing. The only thing that's annoying about these conversations is you'll be talking about your childhood, and then they start talking about their childhood. And it's like, no. We are not done discussing my childhood yet. Wait your turn. I just think with these conversations, there is a tendency with my generation for them to get a little bit competitive as to which one of you had the more tragic childhood. Even though we know you can't compare tragedies, and we mustn't, my God, my generation, we will try. I know this happens because I was talking to this really nice girl at a house party, like basic like you, but so fun, right? And she said when she was younger, her mum was distant. And it's like, oh, the old out tragedy and game. Game on. I said, when I was younger, my mum was super distant. She said, oh, really? Because my mum was super really distant, and I like winning. So I said, well, my mum's dead. I am aware we have established my mother is not dead, she is living. I didn't call her up immediately. I was like, guess what she adored and I told someone you were dead. And she was like, Helen, how fun. Obviously she loved it, she's my mother. She's like, oh my God, how did I die? Car, cancer, boat, again? She was proud of me. She's my mother, she taught me how to out tragedy in conversation. Problem is I can't play it with her because she's so good at it, she's had more practice. Like, a couple of years ago was my 26th birthday. It's also the first birthday that both my parents completely forgot about, just missed it, which obviously, as per gender roles, dad is excused, that's mum's problem. Also, can we just admit, there is nothing better for a woman in her 20s than her mum messing up and you getting to point out her mistake. Haha, you messed up, old bitch. Here I come. I went to meet her the following week and I was like, Mum, it was my birthday at the weekend and you missed it. What happened? And she was like, I don't want to talk about your birthday right now. I was like, you didn't at the weekend either, so that's fine. She was like, no, it's not that. It's just that. I'm leaving your father. Good step up. That is how you play the game. Also, my mum read a book on how to announce divorce to your children, but aimed at 6-year-olds. Because she was like, Helen, it doesn't mean that Dad and I love you any less. It's like, yes, it fucking does. You both forgot my birthday. It's terrible parenting. And then she was annoyed at me. She was annoyed at me because she wanted a proper reaction. Because technically, we had done the scene before. I think she wanted it more like it was in the living room, where she'd be like, Helen, I'm leaving your father, and I'd be a Victorian street child. Like, Peter, what do we do for Michaelmas? Like, something like that. She really wanted me to drop my guard and for us to have a proper conversation, but I couldn't do it. Of course I couldn't do it. My mum told me she was leaving my dad. I was just so distracted thinking, oh my God, like, the actor who plays Michael has been fired. The producers warned him, they did. They said, do not tell that shit story one more time, Michael. But he couldn't stop himself. I couldn't handle it. I could not handle that moment. Of course I couldn't. I was supposed to have a moment with my mum and open up and talk sensibly, but I couldn't do it because I'm so trapped in my own head. I'm always doing the Helen show. I'm always on. Like, whenever I meet someone, it's like, hi, I'm Helen, I'm 6'1", I've got a bird back and I speak fluent German. Like, it's too much. It'd be amazing to get out of my head just for a moment. And I know I'm not the only person who's like this, who's always on for people, trying to project something. I know this because I cannot go for a night out without meeting a woman who goes, oh my God, you are such a card. You are just like my friend Sarah. You've got to meet her. Number one, I don't want to meet myself. Could you imagine how insane that would be? two of us in one place. Also, I don't want to meet myself. She'd do all the same conversational tricks I do. We'd see right through each other. Thing is, I'm an arrogant little cunt. I go and meet Sarah just in case. She might be amazing. So I go outside to meet Sarah. And there's just this amazing row of women. I'm so flattered, just so beautiful, so smart, so poised. And it's like, yes, which one of you angels is Sarah? And they just part in the middle to a woman lying in the street. Fringe up here. 3 empty wine bottles around her. 2 kebabs in hand. Tit hanging out, not great. Just looking up at me like, oh my God. It's like looking in a mirror. Are you kidding me? All of her friends like, oh my God, it's you, it's literally you. You're like twins. She's so funny, isn't she so funny? And it's like, do you think she's funny? She's having a breakdown. Someone talk to her, someone help her. All of them are just looking at me confused. So I have to step up. I have to talk to her the way that I wish people would talk to me sometimes. Just take me seriously. I have to grab her, pick her up, and say, Sarah, talk to me. Sarah. I know you're super concerned and frightened to open up to people and tell them that you're not always having the best time because you're frightened that if you tell them that you're not always on, that they won't like you anymore. They'll see you as someone sad and they don't want to hang out with you. But Sarah, that's not going to happen. Drop the act. Just take a moment because I'm here to listen. So for once in your life, Sarah, be vulnerable. But I will go first. I have been through so much more.